Hello everyone and welcome back. This is a Cub-Cadet 1500 series 27 horsepower Kohler engine. This is a Cub-Cadet yard tractor, and basically on this one is kind of an overview of what all I've done to it. I'm now done with the mower. The mower runs fine. All the projects I showed in my video all come from this mower. And I just wanted to show on here exactly what all I did. There's an important part of this when I'm on a carburetor vehicle video that I did. So right here, this carburetor cover, I'm going to take it off and I'm going to show you exactly what I didn't show in that video. I missed a step and I don't like to miss steps. So what I'm going to show you is, I'm going to do it real quick here. It doesn't take long. So you take off this cover right here. You just simply unscrew it here real quick. And inside this cover, there's the wing nut, like in the other video. Oop, my glove got caught in there. There we go. I'm going to have to take those off, I guess. Alright. Take the gloves off here. It's a little harder to work with those. Oop, my camera thing moved there. There we go. Move it back. So inside this cover here, there's a ball bearing inside this port, and I'll show you where the port is. And I didn't show you that in the carburetor video because I just skipped the step there. Alright, so you take this cover off like so, put it up here. Alright, so this little attachment right here, this is that part that I was telling you about that that goes right here. For some reason it didn't stay there. Alright, put it right there. And inside this little port right here, this little tube sticking out, there's a ball bearing. And let me see if I can get a little straw here and push out that ball bearing so you know exactly what I'm talking about. Because a lot of times when you take this filter off, there'll be a ball bearing inside here. And this is very important. The mower can't run without it. Alright, so right here, this is the ball bearing. So what I do is I put a little bit of oil around it so it gives a little bit of lubrication. And then you just slide it inside this port. And you just barely stick it in there. Don't just pop it in, just stick it right on the edge. Just barely the ball bearing surface is showing beyond the tube. That's as far as you want to put that in there. You don't want to stick it in any further. And then you go back and you put your air cleaner back on. Let's see, this has got a little bit of dirt. I'll wipe that off. Alright. Then you want to stick that back on like so. Then you want to put the wing nut back on. Like I said, when it gets snug, when you start turning it and it gets kind of tight, then just give it about another, there you go, right there, about a turn and a half. Alright, then we're going to put this back on, the cover, line it up with the stud there, and then screw it back on. Real easy. Alright, and when it gets snug, just give it just about a quarter turn until this is about flat. Alright, that's all on. Now this is an overview. So I'm just going to pick this up now because no reason to have it on that. So I'm going to bring this around here. We replaced the oil in the oil filter. I put the date on it. I did it 8/6/25. And then there's the fuel filter that we replaced. And then over here, sorry about the camera moving around, I'm trying to do it as slow as I can. Alright, we put a brand new battery on. AutoZone, which I'm not sponsored by Advanced Auto, was where I bought this die-hard battery. They have a service now that they will give this is only a 3-month warranty battery when you buy it. Most lawnmower batteries are only 3 months, no matter what brand you buy. And so they offer basically a $12.99, or I think it's $12.75, and tax is like $13, $16, something like that. You can get a 1-year warranty at Advanced Auto for these batteries, any size yard tractor or zero turn batteries. They're all basically the same. They're just all different numbers depending on the cranking amps and the. They got, yeah, like this one's a U1R-2, and they have U1R-3s. They have, you know, -1s. They got all different kinds. They usually keep them behind the counter and on the floor. And so those batteries there, they have a warranty for up to 1 year, even to the last day from when you got it. And they will replace it for free. You might have to pay the $12.99 or $13.16 to get your membership renewed for the next time. I'm not really sure there, but I usually do it for all the people that I work on mowers and stuff with, and you know, and that way they have a year worth of you know, protection for the battery, because they can go out in a month, a day. I mean, it's crazy. I like the myself. I like the like I said, I'm not sponsored by Advanced Auto or anything, but I like the X-Side batteries, which are at the Home Depot. I get way better out of those, but that's just my own particular brand, and I just like them. All right, moving on. So after we change the oil, now in this mower, you want to screw in the dipstick. So I'll pull it out here. Whoop, there, I lost my view. There we go. So I'll turn that off there. I changed the oil right there. You can surely see that it's full. There we go. And get a view. There it is. It's full on the dipstick. Stick that back down in there. And they had a switch. I don't know if you remember, but there was a switch that was hanging down right here. And I'll show you real quick. It's right up here. So there's the switch right there. So all I did is I added a longer wire to it and put this protective sleeve right here. See this sleeve right here, this protective sleeve right here? I put all that around to protect it because it's a power wire. You don't want it to short. The other wire is a ground wire that goes to the battery, or the power wire that goes to the battery. They're both basically power wires. But they went to the battery, and you don't want it to touch or short circuit. So I rerouted the switch up here. Maybe I can show you a view inside the mower where it connected right here. Let's see if we can see a zoom to find it on the camera. Okay, I think that's it right there. Let's see if we can get a zoomed in picture. No, it's not really gonna come in, but it's right there in the corner, and that's where it pops through. So anyways, so that's all the work I did. I did an oil change on it, new filter, fuel filter, put a brand new carburetor on it, replaced the fuel line from the tank all the way to the fuel filter, cleaned out the gas tank. I didn't show a video of it, but I put a brand new belt, the belt down here. There's the belt, brand new belt on. Now you're probably wondering, the belt's kind of dark. Well, there's a reason for that, and that's what I wanted to share over here. Hold on one second. Alright, you're probably wondering what that switch is used for. It's not a light switch, which a lot of people might think of that's what it is, but the customer knows it's not a light switch. So anyways, this is a PTO to engage the blade for the deck. So basically what happened was the PTO button quit working, so they wired in their own PTO button to engage the deck blades. And in doing so, that was just dangling down there. If you remember in the video, recent videos, that you've seen the wire dangling down there, that was the PTO switch. So I rerouted it the more professional way and attached it on the dashboard. So now all they got to do is flip it on the dashboard and it works perfect. And I'll show you that in a few minutes. And then we'll show you how everything works. This is a hydrostatic mower. So these little pedals down here forward. This is for, let's see, that's for the little one, and the other side is backward. And so I wanted to show you this important thing that happened to me. On some mowers, this little spout, I think you can see it right there. See that little orange knob right here? So this is where the oil in the engine drains. Very important thing to remember, and I didn't catch it at first. Should have caught it, but I didn't. So all the oil drains down the frame, and I had a pan down below. There's just really no way to really get it not to do that. Now I'm sure I could probably come up with some kind of, funnel system or a little piece of plastic to shove in there with a tube on it, and run it out further so it's not messy next time. But when you take that cap off, oil just goes everywhere, so it's not really, it's not gonna be a clean project for sure. So what happened was it ran all down here and off the deck and down into the pan down here. But what happened that I didn't know was gonna happen is the oil ran across the bottom of the frame down here where my finger is, and it filled up this pulley right here. You see the deck, that powers the deck, and the clutch is right above it. So it filled up the pulley right in here with oil, completely full, because it doesn't leak. It's like waterproof right there, and it was probably pouring over, but I didn't know it. So what happened was, is when I started up the mower for the first time since I've been working on it, and what basically happened was, is that when I turned the deck on, it slung that oil, and that puddle had to have been probably 2 cups or more of oil in there, and it slung it all over the belts, all over the pulleys. That's why you see that the belt right there is dark, and the top of the pulley is dark. That's from all the oil that hit it. And yeah, I mean, the whole deck underneath the mower, the rims on the front wheels, it was completely covered in oil. And you see my floor in the shop, the oil there and the oil over there, and I had all over my saws and tables and chairs. Everything was just coated in oil. Everything but me, because I was sitting on the mower when it happened. So just a word of thought, just check the pulleys to see if there's any oil in it, because you're not really supposed to get oil on the belts and on the pulleys and on the clutch and all that. Even though everything mowed fine, I mowed for about a half over my neighbor's house, and everything operated properly. It wasn't squealing or doing the things you'd think it would do with oil all over it, but naturally I wiped it off the best I could off the pulleys and off the belts and all that. But it's better not to have that problem. I don't think it's going to hurt anything as far as it didn't sit there and soak in. I mean, it did soak on the top surface, but it's a brand new belt, so I'm assuming everything's going to be fine. If it's not, then I'll just replace it from the customer and just not charge them for it. But at any rate, so that's what I had to do there. And so now I'm going to get on the mower and show you exactly how it runs. Alright, I'm sitting on the mower here. Got the key and everything. So you got to push the brake in, because that's the only way that pushes the switch so it'll start. And then I have it on low turtle, about 2 clicks up. So I just pull the choke and turn the mower to start. There, try again. Might be too much choke. Alright, there you have it. It's running there, throttle up a little bit. Probably a little bit flooded, there we go. Had the choke on a little too long. I don't know if you can hear me very well, but I'm trying to talk a little bit louder. So I'm just going to put that on there. I'm going to go hydrostatic forward a little bit. So you see the mower moving. There we are. And now, I'm going to flip this switch here. There you have it. That works fine. And I'm going to cut her off there because it's real noisy. But anyways, hydrostatic, everything works fine. I mowed with it, like I said, for about 20 or a half hour the other day. And everything's good. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the project on this mower of getting everything fixed and repaired. And hope you enjoyed the video. Have a great day. Thank you.